several players. In the summer they will be busy again, so Man City want to refresh the squad. Man City never wanted to advance. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, many things to mention, from Kevin De Bruyne, but also Hummels, Victor Osimhen, Ange, Postecoglou, future, and also Martin Zubimendi. Let's jump into it together. Guys, let me start with the news of the last hours, last days, because first of all, good luck to Hummels, one of the best defenders in the last 20-25 years. Fantastic career for the German centre-back, and now ready for a new chapter because he retires from professional football. So after his chapter at Borussia Dortmund, Bayern, Roma, the German national team, World Cup winner, he leaves professional football and leaves Roma at the end of the season. Who is leaving the club is Kevin De Bruyne. This is not a surprise, guys, because we've been telling you about this story for a long time. I spent a lot of time here telling you about the Manchester City revolution and how the Kevin De Bruyne situation was for sure destined to be clear very soon in terms of exit, because they never had any conversation, Kevin De Bruyne and Manchester City, over a new contract. They never discussed the contract extension, but it was not a negative point. It was just a fair point between Kevin De Bruyne and Manchester City. They never planned for a new contract because they had the feeling internally at Man City, and also Kevin De Bruyne himself, that it was time to go. It was time to part ways, was time to close this beautiful chapter in the best way possible. So with a lot of respect, with a beautiful letter for Kevin De Bruyne to Manchester City staff, fans, and all the people in blue, and also from the club side, because Man City want to go for an evolution of the team. So already in January they signed several players. In the summer they will be busy again, so Man City want to refresh the squad. Man City never wanted to advance on a new contract for De Bruyne, not because they disrespect the player, but because it's time to enter into a new era. And also Kevin wants to feel something different, so now we will have several options. If you see these links with the Neom, the Saudi side, mentioning that is already agreed with Neom, is not true. Nothing is agreed between Kevin De Bruyne and Neom. They don't have any interest, and he has no interest in negotiating with them, so the situation is completely cold between Neom and Kevin De Bruyne. But other Saudi clubs are on the topic, so there is absolutely interest from Saudi in Kevin De Bruyne. There is interest from MLS, but as we say that for Neom, we have to mention it also with the MLS side. San Diego, from what I'm hearing, there is nothing agreed despite the reports, so everything is open for Kevin De Bruyne, who is now going to take some time with his family to decide what he wants to do next, and also it's going to help Manchester City because there is the final part of the season, a Champions League qualification in important impact, having an important impact for Manchester City, so Kevin will help till the very end. But for sure, it's now over between Kevin De Bruyne and Manchester City, so we will be following the next steps for him. It's not over yet, but it's a dangerous situation, the one of Ange, Postecoglou at Tottenham. So guys, I know Spurs fans are not happy with the current situation. It's really poor, let me say, in terms of points, 34 in 30 games in Premier League. In Europa League is a different story. Now there is an important clash with Eintracht, so Europa League is saving the season at the moment for Tottenham and for Ange Postecoglou, but Europa League will be really important, because if Tottenham win the Europa League, okay, this could change the whole sense of the project. Next year would be a Champions League, a trophy finally for Spurs, so it would be really important. Otherwise, the expectation is for a very concrete and strong chance for Tottenham to replace Ange Postecoglou at the end of the season. Why? Because Tottenham started exploring the managers market. Tottenham are informed on the situation of Andoni Iraola at Bournemouth with a release clause into his contract, so Tottenham know everything about that, and he's a candidate for Tottenham job. Andoni Iraola, who is doing fantastic at Bournemouth, and for sure he's highly rated internally at Tottenham. So it's one of the possibilities. Another coach appreciated is Marco Silva, who has spent years at Fulham doing very well, sometimes not with crazy investments, but with a good squad, and he was able to make them perform in an excellent way. So Marco Silva, Andoni Iraola, there are links with Simone Inzaghi, but I can guarantee that Inzaghi is completely focused on Inter and is not having any concrete conversation with Tottenham at this point. But in general, the Tottenham job is something interesting to follow, because again, if they win the Europa League, for Ange Postecoglou it will feel completely different. Otherwise, there is a concrete possibility for Spurs to replace the coach and to see a new project starting in the summer transfer window with new players and new coach. Let's see what happens for Victor Osimhen, guys. But what I wanted to tell you today is that First point, the expectation is for Victor Osimhen to leave Galatasaray, for sure. He's going back to Napoli from the loan deal. And Napoli, that's the indication I'm getting, want to sell the player as soon as possible. So forget about an Osimhen saga end of July, end of August, as we had last summer. Imagine that Osimhen was moving in September last summer. So you remember the whole summer saga. Napoli don't want to enter into the same situation. So release clause, 75 million euros, but Napoli are open to finding a different solution even before, as soon as possible, to find a solution already in June. That's the ideal the ideal scenario for Napoli for the Victor Osimhen story. So they want to find a solution as soon as possible. Napoli will sell Osimhen. Osimhen will not stay at Napoli, and Osimhen will not continue at Galatasaray. So there are several options. In England, we know English clubs are interested. For Man United, many fans texting me, guys, but interest is still there, but still not something guaranteed from Man United. Because of the salary, because it's a very expensive package, and because Man United have several options, including Delap and including more players. So Man United will sign a striker, but for Osimhen at the moment it's not something guaranteed. There are more options around the world, because also from Saudi, remember that 1 year ago, Al Ahly almost agreed the deal for Victor Osimhen, and then everything collapsed in the final minutes because of Napoli, not because of Victor Osimhen. He wanted to go to Al Ahly, he wanted to go to Saudi. It was Napoli breaking the deal with Al Ahly. So now it's important to see what happens. But remember, Osimhen still wants his salary guaranteed, and that is going to be a really important point for the story. But the timing will also be important, because Napoli want to sell the player as soon as possible, make money and reinvest. That's the mission. And then, guys, on Martin Zubimendi, let me explain what I know. I was already telling you this situation for months. Arsenal are confident. Arsenal are working on it. Arsenal know every single detail of the release clause. Arsenal are in contact with the players' camp. So Arsenal wants Zubimendi. Still waiting to have a final green light from the player. Still working on that. But Arsenal maintain their confidence. Andrea Berta, new Arsenal director, has a very good relationship with the agents of Zubimendi. They know each other for a long time. So for sure, Arsenal are working hard on the Zubimendi deal. And then what about Real Madrid? These links are there because there is a possibility, we know, for Xabi Alonso to become the new Real Madrid manager already this summer or eventually in the future. When this happens, Xabi Alonso would love to work with Zubimendi. He loves Zubimendi. And this is why we have the links with Real Madrid. But Arsenal are already in the process to sign Zubimendi. This is why Arsenal in this moment are confident, working on it. But again, we have to follow step by step. We remember last summer Liverpool were close to signing Zubimendi, and then the player decided to continue at Real Sociedad. So we have to follow every single step of the story. But for sure, Arsenal are working on it. And when you mention Real Madrid, when you see Real Madrid in the news, it's because of the big appreciation of Xabi Alonso. But at this stage, don't forget, the Real Madrid coach now is still Carlo Ancelotti. And so, guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories from Kevin De Bruyne. Which club should go for him? Victor Osimhen, where do you expect him to go next? And then Ange Postecoglou, who is the ideal coach for Tottenham. Guys, I wait for your opinion here in comments. Like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon.